Hi everyone, I hope you are. This is CoinsKid. I'm just going to dive into the Bitcoin chart right now, guys, okay? If you are new to the channel, please do subscribe, and if you are not a member of the Telegram group, do please head over to that group right now and get involved in the CoinsKid community there. So we're just diving into Bitcoin on the 4-hour right now, okay? We look quite bullish, okay? But what I want to do is bring to your awareness a couple of things, basically. You can see there, the MACD's formed a bullish cross, histogram's just going bullish. So it looks good for Bitcoin, basically. You can just see that bullish cross just formed there. And what we've got here, guys, okay, is we are hitting our head on some kind of resistance just there. At the moment, you can see that we're hitting, this is the 4-hourly time frame. So we zoom a little bit for you guys. You can see that we had this bottom down here. And basically what's happened here this morning, Elon Musk has made a tweet saying you can buy Bitcoin, you can buy Tesla with Bitcoin, okay? And you can see from that moment when he made his tweet, Bitcoin was down there and it's appreciated something like 5%. So what I want to draw to your attention is that is a good thing, but also you've got to remember the last time that Elon Musk tweeted about Bitcoin, it was on a downtrend as well, and literally within minutes of him tweeting about Bitcoin shot up, you know, astronomically. I think it went up something like 25% in about 2 hours. We don't seem to be hitting that kind of velocity at the moment off Elon's tweet, and you've got to ask yourself, why is that? Okay, why are we not seeing that ferocious move? Okay, it's not necessarily a non-ferocious move, but it's not the similar sort of move that we've seen for the Elon tweet last time. Okay, so I'll show you where that was. Basically, that is there. You see that big giant candle there? Okay, that was an appreciation if we measure that now. So Elon Musk tweeted here in a downtrend something about Bitcoin. I forget what it was, or he changed his bio to Bitcoin, and you can see that it appreciated a whopping 20% before it hit a top and then corrected, and obviously continued with a downtrend, found support before moving up again. So that was that particular tweet. So now you're looking at this tweet, okay, and he has tweeted this morning. The tweet's a couple of hours old now, I think, and it's just pushing up, and it's gone up 5%. Okay, it's good. It has gone up, but what you see it's doing, it's hitting some form of resistance. It's hitting some form of resistance right now. Okay, we are pushing through the 4-hourly 20 EMA there. So what you do need to see for this to be a really good move, a validated impulsive move here to the upside, you do need to see that close above the 20 EMA there on the 4-hourly time frame. Okay, on the hourly, you know, it looks good. We've got above this EMA. You can see on the hourly we are hitting our head on this multi-day long support line now. It's acting as support there, but actually resistance now that we fell out of it. That rising wedge type pattern that we're targeting in the channel, guys, okay? So on the hourly we look really bullish, but what you may see is a fallback and a back test of this 20 EMA here. You can see that the EMAs on the hourly are just turning to look towards a bullish cross on the EMAs there. So what you need to see is a back test of this EMA, then a push on and push up and get through this trading channel here, guys, okay? Because if you could see that for Bitcoin, then I would say, yeah, we are looking strong. But what else? What I also want to draw your attention to, okay, you know we've got that bearish signal that we've seen in the channel here, guys. I'll zoom out for you and I can show you, okay? So you can see the bearish scenario is the fallout of this wedge. I have seen some technical analysis saying that we formed the wedge down here, guys, at roughly 17k. I have seen a few technical analysis saying that is the point, but personally I always like to say that the wedge is from where we hit the top and then we formed the very bottom. I find that as the local bottom of a wedge, personally. Other chartists do other things, but I see that as a fallback potentially before you get that level of support, before you could potentially bounce out of it. So for me, the wedge was formed there, not all the way down there, as some technical analysts say. I may be wrong, but when I chart it, 9 times out of 10, this trade works for me, okay? This pattern is the pattern in which it goes up, hits the top, okay, forms the top resistance channel, but when it hits the bottom, that's the wedge actually being formed on the lower support level, okay? So basically that's the bearish scenario, guys, and you know that is not out of the question, okay? And the reason that is not out of the question, and I'll tell you now that we could actually get that low, is because if we go to the weekly time frame here, guys, we look at the weekly time frame for Bitcoin, and I want to make you aware of everything in this channel. You know, I could drip feed you and say that Bitcoin's going to Mars, which I believe it is. I believe it's going to Mars, okay? But not just yet. I think it's going to be a process to get there, okay? I do believe that we will see $1 million Bitcoin one day in our lifetime as well, guys. I do believe that, but you know, these pullbacks that we're going to see on Bitcoin are perfectly healthy. So what I want to draw to your attention is this is the last bull market, okay? So in this bull market here, we've formed that bullish cross on a weekly time frame. I've told you how important these bullish crosses are, okay? In the future, if you remember this channel and you're a subscriber, as soon as we see that bullish cross on a weekly time frame on any project, you go long, okay? So basically you got the weekly cross there, the EMAs, okay, the 20 and the 55 that we target in this channel. You can see we went up and we have multiple tests of the 20 EMA there, and very rarely tested the 55, but we did test the 55, okay, multiple times. There, one there, and there in the correction. You see when we had that correction, come down and tested the 55 on the weekly time frame, okay? So what you're looking for is the test on the 20, and as you can see in this bull market, we went up but kept back testing this 20 EMA on the weekly time frame as a confirmation, as a level of support that we hadn't fallen bearish and fallen through the market, and then obviously like we did here, we back tested it but fell through. As soon as you know we fell through this EMA here, that was a massive telltale sign that the bear market was here, guys. So another indicator that we can say in the channel, you know, we've got a bearish cross on the weekly time frame that we're saying is a signal as well for the bear market. But what we've also got to look at, given the structure of the previous bear market, is when we fall through the 20 EMA on the weekly time frame, that will signal that a correction is coming, guys, and you can see that just there, okay? So that moving forward is a big signal that you need to keep an eye on in the channel, and I will keep you updated with that, okay, guys? So as you can see, we've gone up, back testing the EMA multiple times, perfectly healthy, guys. You can see this extension here, you know, that's a whopping run. That is, it appreciated something like 280% before correcting down and bouncing off the weekly EMA there. Okay, so that was a retest and a correction of around 36% for Bitcoin in this long bull run that it went through. Okay, so right now you can see on the weekly time frame, guys, we have not touched the 20 EMA since we broke the previous high up there. Okay, well, not even there. I do apologize, guys. That was when we broke the high there. That level there was the previous. That wasn't the previous high. What am I on about? The previous high was this level here. So move that up a little bit. You know what, that's even more conclusive to me that we may see that retest, guys, okay? And I'll tell you why in a moment. We may actually see it come down to the previous high, because what I like to target in the channel here, we have the swing highs, the swing lows, and on the swing low we do usually see a retest of the previous swing high. Okay, so that 20k retest would not be off the cards there, so you may see us fall back down to there. But I do believe that if we was to do that, guys, we would be very bearish, okay? And that is probably a long projection. But what I am anticipating here, guys, is a potential retest of this 20 EMA. Currently it sits at 40k. I do think that potentially we are looking to test that. Not necessarily our really extreme bearish scenario where we're falling out this wedge and we go back down to where we form the wedge. I do think that we may potentially see this 20 EMA retest for Bitcoin at some point, because you can see we've not done it. We've not done it since we broke out the traps here in October of last year. We've just gone parabolic, okay? And we do need to see that correction and that retest of this 20 EMA to maintain us moving forward in this super cycle, as we did here in this bull market where we kept coming back and testing this 20 EMA. It's not guaranteed, guys. You don't have to do it, but what we're looking at here is a very parabolic move for Bitcoin, and the harder it goes up and the quicker and faster it goes up, the more it will come down and correct. Okay, so we do need these healthy corrections. You know, we talk honestly in this channel, guys, and we do say that, you know, these EMA retests are very needed and much needed, and you can see in the previous bull run there we did have multiple retests of that 20 EMA, and that was perfectly healthy. Once you start to fall through it, that's your bear market. Okay, so as you can see, you know, we do probably need to come back to this 20 EMA. You can sort of see as well, if you do look at it, right, look at this EMA, it's going up, okay, you can see it's starting to sort of take a bit of a curl there, so perhaps it is looking to cool off and Bitcoin slowly come back down to test it. You know, by the time the EMA gets up there, okay, guys, in a few weeks or a month or so after Bitcoin consolidates, goes sideways, you may be looking at sort of creeping up there, and you may be looking at like 43k Bitcoin retest of the 20 EMA, which would be really healthy. So falling down to that falling wedge there where we fell in might not necessarily play off, because if that did play off, given the previous structure and the previous bull market, you can see that when you do fall through the 20 EMA there, you know, you would be entering a bear market. Okay guys, so we don't want to fall through that 20 EMA on the weekly time frame. That's even if we do test it, we might not, but all I'm doing is showing you something that's a probability. Okay, you can see here we have got this bearish divergence on the RSI as well, which is played off because you've got the rolls. Okay, so this here, that's a bearish divergence. We had the roll, so that was the bearish divergence there, guys. So from there to there in the RSI, you can see that when it made that high there, a lower high, high, lower high, and then we had the rollover, a retest of this support line. Okay, and then you can see it bounced up again, and it's formed another, well, a continued bearish divergence on the RSI, and then we're looking at another rollover. We were looking to test the support line there, but we've actually fell through it, guys. Okay, which is unfortunate on the daily time frame there. We fell through it. You can't really see it on the weekly, but you know, given that, my personal opinion is that we, you know, it's not financial advice, guys, but I think it would be quite healthy to come down and test that 20 EMA on the weekly time frame. Eventually, just to refuel those rocket ships, just to reset some of those statistics. Let's see this RSI get into this mid-level here as well, get nice and healthy in the mid-level there, so it can sort of reset, refuel, you know, get the MACD down a little bit as well, get that curling round and coming down, and just sort of resetting the levels and basically cooling off a little bit, guys, because Bitcoin here, this is just parabolic. We don't necessarily want Bitcoin to just go up in a straight line like this, because that is really unhealthy. Okay, because when stuff does that, it rolls over and it just crashes so hard. You can see the crash here, guys. Okay, in the previous bull run there, look, when it goes parabolic like that, that's parabolic. It's going up and up and up and up. It's not stopping. As its blow off top, and you can see it just absolutely gets obliterated and just corrects massively. I mean, Bitcoin there in a matter of weeks had corrected, you know, 70%. If Bitcoin continues to go up in this trajectory, you're going to be looking at that massive correction there. So theoretically, if we was to be sensible here and say we are looking at a blow off top and a rollover for Bitcoin, then, you know, from this point coming down to the EMA, you're looking at a 25-30% correction. But again, it's not financial advice, guys, and it might not happen. We might just have a test of support now and keep going up. Because what I want to do is show you on the 4-hourly time frame. I know I've rambled on a bit in this video, guys, and I do apologise, but I just want to make you aware of everything that I see. Okay, so on the 4-hourly time frame here, you can see that we did fall out of that wedge. Okay, but what we're doing, we're forming a bit of a new pattern here, guys. Okay, so what we've got is something called a descending triangle, and that actually is a bullish pattern, guys. It can break down. Okay, I'm not going to lie to you, it can break down. You can see these patterns break down, but when you do come up into them, they are a continuation trend, and it's quite a high statistic as well. It's quite a high percentage that they are a continuation trend. Okay, so you can see you've got your support here at the bottom. Okay, and then you've got this downwards resistance line, so you're caught in this kind of descending triangle pattern, it's called, like a horizontal type triangle. So you can see resistance, support, resistance, come back down, support. So what you need to do is keep an eye on this pattern now, guys, because you may see us push up. Okay, get through this support line here, get back above it, the resistance of it, and act as support, and you may see us hit our head on that descending triangle resistance there, guys, and then come back down and test these levels of support until we get closer and closer to this apex before Bitcoin decides what it wants to do. So what you want to be doing, hopefully we can tell you in the channel as well, you know, if you was to break down here, lose this level of support, then you would be looking at a target down there, which I'll show you in a minute. And then if you was to break through this level of resistance, back test the support, because you always want to see the back test as well, guys. It's the same as this. If you lose this as support, you do see that back test as resistance. If it fails to get through it, then you know your target's going to be met out of the triangle patterns. Okay, that's the way it works, guys. That's the way I teach everybody in the channel here. Okay, so basically, you know, our target would be this here, because where you've gone up and you've formed the top of the descending triangle there, that becomes your target. So if we was to break down for Bitcoin right now, okay, you may see that test there, that fallout for Bitcoin down to that level, which, believe it or not, would push us down to that 20-week moving average. So perhaps that is on the cards. You can never take anything off the table, okay, in crypto, in charting. You've always got to analyze every single possibility, okay, guys? And then, you know, failing that, let's copy that now, paste it, And failing that, I'll break out wherever it is. You know, you could break out here, wherever. I'm just presuming towards the end of the apex there, somewhere towards the end of the apex. You know, you could break out anywhere. Obviously, the downturn, wherever you break out at the bottom, because you're finding a level horizontal support line, that will pretty much be the same if you do break down. But if you was to break to the upside, you would be looking at a different level, guys, because obviously it moves up with a horizontal resistance line. The resistance line of the triangle there, guys. Okay, so say we was to break out towards the end of the apex, you may be looking at that new all-time high for Bitcoin up there at roughly 63k, guys. So that is definitely something you need to keep an eye on, and do keep posted to the channel, guys, because I will keep you updated with that. Okay, and hopefully we can get that breakout, and then I can say to you, you know, look at a long or look at a short. So that's basically Bitcoin, guys. I hope I've answered some questions there on Bitcoin. Okay. But worst case scenario, you know, if we was to break down now and fall down to this wedge, where I believe that we did form this wedge, and this is a rising wedge, okay, when you do fall out of it, it is very bearish, and it is a continuation pattern, and you do tend to cascade and fall to the bottom of the wedge. But that might not necessarily happen for Bitcoin, because there is a lot of buying power there. And if we was to hit that target, guys, then looking at the weekly time frame on the EMAs, then that is actually quite bearish and would see us in a mini bear market there. And do realize that we have had a bull run before in 2013 where we did have two bull cycles, where we had a top, a bear market, then another top. So that is not off the table either, guys. Okay, just making you aware of everything moving forward. Hope you enjoyed that segment. I'm just going to jump onto Ethereum right now, guys, for you. So just diving into Ethereum on the 4 hourly here, you can see this head and shoulders pattern here that we were targeting in the channel. You know, 9 times out of 10, guys, these do actually play out. Okay, so this is still not off the table. You know, this move, this head and shoulders pattern will be invalidated if Ethereum breaks above 750 and bounces back above it and tests it as support. If you get a close on a 4 hourly time frame above 1750, then this head and shoulders pattern, this downwards move, the end trajectory for Ethereum would be invalidated. Okay, and that's how these trades work. Okay, so we are potentially still looking, given, you know, you can see that push up there, but we are still targeting that 1559 Ethereum. Okay, because unless this move is invalidated, this is still valid. Okay, and that's how trading works, guys. Okay, so basically Ethereum looks like it's coming up a bit. It's a little bit of a kind of bear flag type formation going in. You can see yesterday we formed this little bear flag. Okay, and we got that little breakdown once we reached the top there, the bear flag. We was anticipating that, but it's got brought back up, and I think the reason it's got brought back up is obviously because of Elon's tweet. So, you know, this might still be a bear flag, guys. Okay, this might still form a bear flag like this. Okay, and I just want to make you aware that this is what it does. It sort of looks like it's going back up, but then it starts to break down again, and then you look at your target. Your target is from the breakout down to the bear flag, you know, from there to there, and that's perfectly lining up with where we do have this target, this bottom for Ethereum, breaking down out of this head and shoulders pattern, guys. So that is still on the cards. I know Ethereum looks like it's going up, and you know it could go up, but what I'm bringing to your table, making you aware, is that the patterns do not lie. Okay, until we push up and break this neckline of this head and shoulders, this head and shoulders is still a valid move, and you're potentially looking at that downside for Ethereum. So if you was to say, okay, this particular level here, this is acting as resistance, okay, in this bear flag, so you may see us get rejected there, and if you look, that particular level is right lining up with the 20 EMA on the 4 hourly time frame. So if you was looking to trade this, guys, okay, you could potentially look at a bounce, a rejection off that 20 EMA. Okay, I don't want to tell you what to do. I'm not a financial advisor. I'm just saying this could potentially be a play for you. You could look at the rejection off the 20 EMA. Okay, if it fails to get through it, okay, and it comes back, look for another retest of resistance. If it gets that and bounces again, that you know Ethereum's running out of steam and this head and shoulders pattern is valid, you could then look at a short potential for Ethereum. So something like there down, you would be looking at a roughly 9.72% short opportunity on Ethereum. And obviously you can use leverage trading there, 10x, 100x if that's your game, but always tread caution with leverage trading, guys. I do say that to you in the channel. but that is a potential play. Okay, failing that, you know, if we was to get through this 20 EMA here now on the 4 hourly time frame and push through, backtest it support, and then get through this neckline of this head and shoulders and backtest it as support, then you would say that this move is invalidated, guys. So that's Ethereum. I won't spend too much time in this video today, guys. I've already rambled on far too much. It's 20 minutes long. I do apologize, and I will bring more content and videos to the channel. I do really appreciate every single comment, you know, that you post in the channel, and hopefully, you know, I can make you aware of what's going on in the markets here and educate you. And yeah, thank you very much for all the feedback, guys. I really do appreciate it very, very much. Just please do what you can, smash that like button, and also share the videos on social media, because that really helps the channel grow and bring more awareness into the space for more people looking to learn as well. So yeah, please do just tweet it or Facebook it or whatever you want to do. Thank you very much for all your support and everything, guys. And please do, if you're not already a member of the Telegram group there, please do head over to the Telegram group. The link is in the description below the video. Thanks, guys. I'll be back soon with another video. Bye bye.